Well, Lane and Victor, we're going into day 9 in the search for Hailey Dunn, and there's still no sign of her. When I visited with the Dunn family this morning, I saw Texas Rangers scouring through Hailey's room. If we take a look over here, this is the window to her bedroom. Now, Texas Rangers, I'm told, have not found anything and no sign of foul play or any sign of her packing her bags and running away from home at this time. More than a week later and still no sign of Hailey. Her mother says it's frustrating, but she remains hopeful.
But I have to do nothing but hope that she left by herself and that she's going to come back to me, because if I don't cling on to that hope, I don't have anything.
That was my day, and then I came home around, I guess like 3 o'clock I got there, and Hailey was there watching TV in the living room, and I went to me and Billy's bedroom, and she came in there and told me that she was going to her father's house and that she was staying the night with a friend, and then she left.
December 27th, 2010, Colorado City, Texas. A small rural town where everyone knows everyone's business. But some secrets are darker than others. 13-year-old Hailey Dunn is a normal 8th grader, cheerleader, band member. Friends say she's funny and kind. But there's something troubling about her home life. She lives with her mother, Billie Jean, and her mother's boyfriend, Sean Adkins. That afternoon around 3 p.m., Hailey comes home from school. Sean is there. Her mother is at work in Snyder. Her brother David is out. It's just the two of them in the house. Hailey tells Sean she's going to her father's house. She says she'll stay at a friend's place afterward for the night. Sean says okay. She leaves. She never arrives at her father's house. She never arrives at her friend's house. No one ever sees her alive again. The next day, December 28th, Billie Jean reports her missing. Police search for Hailey. When police search the house after Hailey disappears, they notice something crucial. Her room is completely normal. Nothing is packed, nothing is missing. Her new iPod, the one she got excited about on Christmas Day, is still sitting in her room. So is her cash. Her favorite clothing items, her toothbrush, her hairbrush, her contact solution, a new MP3 player, even her jacket, the one her friends say she would never leave home without. It's freezing cold outside on December 27th. Hailey left without a jacket. It was also uncharacteristic of Hailey to leave home without telling her mother where she was going. But on this day, she just left. Or did she? Police search for Hailey. When reporters asked Sean about Hailey, they wanted to know when he had last seen her.
That was my day, and then I came home around, I guess like 3 o'clock I got there, and Hailey was there watching TV in the living room, and I went to me and Billy's bedroom, and she came in there and told me that she was going to her father's house and that she was staying the night with a friend, and then she left. And then I was there by myself for maybe an hour at the most, and then David and a friend came over, and they went to his room and they were playing video games and so forth, and Billy called me and told me that that her relief got there and that she's going to get to leave a little early. So I was up there at the hospital in Snyder around 6 o'clock to pick her up, and then we came back. And then we went to bed shortly after that.
And this whole time you were thinking Hailey was at a friend's house?
Yes.
About what time did she say she was leaving at?
What time Hailey was leaving?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was sometime in between 3 and 3:30 when she said she was leaving. It was like shortly after I got there. I'm not real sure about a time.
Does she normally call and check in every so often, or is it normal to not hear from her for so long?
It's pretty normal for her just to not call, because she usually does that though, because she does stay the night at a friend's house. She'll be back the next morning.
Days pass, a week passes, then January comes around. January 6th, 2011. Police decide to polygraph both Sean and Billie Jean. These are lie detector tests. They measure physical responses when people are asked about what they know. The results are shocking. Both fail. When asked, "Do you know where Hailey is?" both show deception. This is the first real clue. Not one person is lying, both of them are. Meanwhile, Sean decides to go to the media. In a 2011 television interview on KTAB/KRBC, he denies everything. He gives his version of December 27th,
Hailey's case was on national television, and Nancy Grace seemed to be a little hard on you. What was that like, hearing her question Billy like that?
I heard about it. I wasn't there when Billy was getting interviewed by her. I was talking to the Texas Rangers, but I heard about it, and it's frustrating, you know, what she said about me, but it really doesn't bother me because, you know, my main focus is just Hailey, because we just want her to come home safe.
Does it hurt to think people would point fingers at you, the person who cares about her?
Yeah, it hurts. It does.
Describe to me the relationship between you and Hailey.
It's a really good relationship, and, you know, I love her with all my heart, and I believe she loves me with all her heart, and we get along just fine.
See, is there anything else you want people to know about you and your relationship with the family at all? Because it seems like a lot of people are buzzing on the internet about it.
Yeah, as far as me, Hailey, and Billy and David, you know, we all get along just fine. And I would never do nothing to that little girl. I love her with all my heart. And I just wish for her a safe return.
People close to Hailey noticed something. While her mother said they were close, Hailey's friends and neighbors said she was afraid of him. Very afraid.
Things that Hailey used to tell me about the man.
What kind of things?
She didn't like him. She didn't trust him. She was afraid of him.
I don't want to be here right now. I'm going to be here with you because I don't feel right with my stepdad.
But here's where it gets interesting. Investigators have Sean's cell phone records, and they tell a different story than what Sean told police. Sean said, on December 27th, he went to work in Snyder in the morning, got into a fight with his boss, quit, then went straight to his mother's house in Big Spring. Simple story, sounds normal. But the cell phone pings, the signals his phone sent to cell towers, tell a different truth. 9:38 a.m. Sean's phone pings a tower in Big Spring. He says he's at work in Snyder, but his phone is already in Big Spring. 9:38 a.m. to 2:40 p.m. For over 5 hours, Sean's phone is pinging towers in Big Spring. He's there the whole time. Then something changes. 2:40 p.m., Sean's phone stops pinging Big Spring towers. His location changes. At the exact same time, investigators notice something important. His phone suddenly starts pinging towers in a different direction, toward Scurry County. Between 2:40 p.m. and 3 p.m., Sean leaves Big Spring and heads toward Scurry County. And around 3 p.m., that's when Hailey supposedly leaves the house to go to her father's place. 2:56 p.m., Sean makes a phone call. It connects to a tower between Big Spring and Colorado City. 2:57 p.m., Hailey's phone receives a call. It connects to a tower in Colorado City. 1 minute apart, 2 phones in the same area. But Sean claims he was in Big Spring all day. The records prove he was heading to Scurry County.
Well, Lane and Victor, we're going into day 9 in the search for Hailey Dunn, and there's still no sign of her. When I visited with the Dunn family this morning, I saw Texas Rangers scouring through Hailey's room. If we take a look over here, this is the window to her bedroom. Now, Texas Rangers, I'm told, have not found anything and no sign of foul play or any sign of her packing her bags and running away from home at this time. More than a week later, and still no sign of Hailey. Her mother says it's frustrating, but she remains hopeful.
But I have to do nothing but hope that she left by herself and that she's going to come back to me, because if I don't cling on to that hope, I don't have anything.
Now, local authorities tell me they're following several tips at this time. Several agencies have stepped in, and the reward once again is $25,000 for tips that lead to Hailey Dunn.
I want to thank everyone for coming this afternoon and giving me an opportunity to make a statement. First, I want to speak directly to Hailey in case she's listening. Wherever you are, Hailey, I'm looking for you. Hundreds of people are looking for you. We all want you home safe. I just want to see and touch your beautiful face. I really love you. I desperately need you home, and there's not a minute goes by I'm not praying for you or crying wishing you were in my living room. I can't handle not knowing where you are or if you're safe. You're the most beautiful girl I've ever laid my eyes on, and I'm very proud that God chose me to be your mother. Next, I want to say, if someone out there has Hailey, please let her go. Just turn her loose, drop her off at a church, a school, a police station, anywhere that she can get to a phone and call police or call her family. I've been flat out called a liar by some people. Others speculate on my possible involvement in Hailey's disappearance or wonder if I'm covering up for somebody. Some people accuse me of withholding information and not cooperating with law enforcement. These things are not true, but I now feel that I have to defend myself from ridiculous accusations, slander, or defamation of character.
January 12th, 2011. Police search the home. They find something disturbing in boxes. Hundreds of printed articles. Articles about serial killers, mass murderers, sexual sadists, different methods of killing, different motives. Over 200 pages. Billie Jean says it's just a hobby. But then, on February 25th, 2011, police discover something far worse. Over 190,000 images on devices in the home, child pornography, bestiality, illegal material spread across a memory stick in Billie's possession, and a computer at Sean's mother's house. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't normal behavior. This is evidence of someone with a serious problem. Someone capable of terrible things. Sean Adkins officially becomes the main person of interest.
Police say they are taking a more aggressive approach. They're actually canvassing the neighborhood around the Dunn home with non-uniform officers. They're going door to door looking for anybody that might know anything about Hailey.
While she was first thought to be a runaway, people are now telling Sierra Putman they're just not sure anymore.
But after a week,
First couple of days, for sure, a runaway.
it's very out of character for Hailey. She's never just taken off and stayed gone before.
A runaway, for sure. Next several days, you stop and think, it's not a runaway.
March 17th, 2011. Police come to the house with a search warrant for Sean Adkins. They knock on the door. Billie Jean answers. "Is Sean here?" police ask. "No," she says, "he's not here." But he is. He's inside the house. Billie Jean looks police in the eye and lies. She's protecting him. She's obstructing justice. Police arrest her for lying to authorities. When they investigate further, they discover something else. On the night Hailey vanished, Billie Jean and Sean made 2 ATM withdrawals in Snyder. They used the money to buy drugs. So the timeline becomes clearer. Hailey tells Sean she's leaving around 3 p.m. Sean's phone records show he was heading from Big Spring to Scurry County around 2:40 p.m. to 3 p.m. Hailey was last alive at 2:57 p.m. when her phone received a call. That means Sean had roughly 2 hours alone with Hailey, from about 3 p.m. until David comes home around 5 p.m. Then that same night, he and Billie Jean make drug purchases. And Billie Jean lies to police to protect him. She knew something. March 30th, 2011. Authorities announce they believe Hailey is deceased. She's not a missing person anymore. She's a murder victim. But there's no body. There's no clear evidence. There's only circumstantial clues and a mother protecting her boyfriend. June 2011. Billie Jean receives 1 year of probation for lying to police. She and Sean move to Austin, 250 miles away from Colorado City. The case goes cold. Years pass. 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. No arrests, no developments. Just a dead girl in a system that can't seem to move forward. March 16th, 2013.
Colorado City officials are updating the public on the outlook of the investigation.
Things are looking grim. Hailey Dunn is likely dead. Although we would very much like the safe return of Hailey, that may not be likely. Searches for Hailey are still happening.
They wouldn't be until 2 years had passed.
For instance, the main thing about him quitting his job and lying to me about it for a week, saying he had a job and then telling me he was fired when in fact he wasn't.
She suspects he may know more about Hailey's whereabouts than what everyone originally thought.
For sure.
Hailey has been missing from her Colorado City home for almost 15 months.
There's been a lot of speculation that this could be the remains of missing teen Hailey Dunn.
A search team brought in a psychic and investigator to help find clues. 2013, local authorities were notified of human remains located near Lake J.B. Thomas in southwest Scurry County. The remains were sent to the University of North Texas Center for Human Identification for DNA analysis. On April 26, 2013, the Scurry County District Attorney's Office received written confirmation that the remains have been positively identified as those of Hailey Dunn.
2 years and 3 months after Hailey disappeared, human remains are discovered near Lake J.B. Thomas in Scurry County. Remember when Sean's phone pinged towards Scurry County on December 27th? This is where Hailey was left, April 26, 2013. Medical examiners confirm the remains are Hailey Dunn. She was struck in the head with a blunt object. The trauma was severe. It would have caused significant bleeding. Someone hit her hard enough to kill her. But still, no arrest. The investigation remains stalled. Years continue to pass. 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. A full decade. Clint Dunn, Hailey's biological father, is desperate. Police haven't arrested anyone. The system has failed his daughter.
I've been staying out of the way of law enforcement all this time. I thought I was doing the best thing by not coming down on law enforcement. And it's been too many years of no action. Nothing's been done. So I'm tired of waiting. The investigator over the case right now out of Scurry County, he told me one time, he said he doesn't care if it takes 20 years to do this. And I do care if it takes 20 years. I don't want the person that hurt my kid that doesn't need to walk the street for 20 years.
You think that person is still out there somewhere?
Yeah. I think he's here in this town. Big Spring, Texas.
You think he's in Big Spring?
Mm-hmm. I know he was 2 months ago.
You have somebody in mind?
Sean Atkins.
You think it's Sean Atkins, the only named suspect?
Yep. And I think that Billie Jean knows something. She said too many lies. She's avoided too much. And she knows more than what she said.
A young girl missing.
As a parent myself, I worry.
A community unites to bring her home.
Night and day. We will not rest until Hailey is found.
Tonight, the search is taking on a new intensity.
The sheriff's office is there. Texas Rangers are finally involved.
Special team coverage live from Colorado City tonight at 5 and 6.
Billie is praying her daughter will return home safely.
We hope that she took off on her own. We hope she's scared to come home now because it's been so long. But there's a chance. There's a great chance in my mind, as far as I'm concerned, that somebody snatched my baby off the street.
So in 2021, he hires a private investigator named Erica Morse. Together, they begin investigating cold leads. They dig into the case files. They follow up on tips that police missed. But something disturbing happens. Erica Morse starts receiving threatening messages. Someone is watching her work. Someone wants to intimidate her. Someone wants her to stop investigating. When Erica reports these messages to police, they trace them. They discover who's sending them. Sean Atkins. He's been monitoring the investigation. He's been trying to stop them. This isn't just suspicion anymore. This is proof of consciousness of guilt. An innocent person doesn't harass the investigator looking into a case. A guilty person does. June 13th, 2021. 11 years after Hailey disappeared. Sean Casey Atkins is arrested. He's charged with murder. The indictment specifically states, Sean Atkins struck Hailey Dunn in the head with an unknown blunt object on December 27, 2010, causing her death.
The KCBD Investigates team, the Mitchell County District Attorney's Office, has released a single page from Sean Atkins' arrest warrant. He is the man police hold responsible for killing Hailey Dunn in Colorado City. Big Spring police arrested him last month, but we don't know why. When KCBD requested the arrest warrant, we were sent to Mitchell County, and the DA there refused, citing Texas law, claiming it blocked us from access to this public record since it involves the alleged abuse and death of a child. So now, while we're waiting on the Attorney General to rule on this decision, in the meantime, it has been 10 days since our request for the entire arrest warrant and affidavit. We have only this part of the warrant so far, ordering any law enforcement agent to arrest Sean Adkins for the charge of murder out of Colorado City. But that does not shed any light on what led Mitchell County to that conclusion. So our investigates team will keep pursuing your right to know about what police say led to the death of Hailey Dunn.
He's also charged with tampering with evidence by concealing her body. For the first time in 11 years, there's hope. Finally, someone is being held responsible. Billie Jean posts on Facebook, "I thank God that person has been apprehended and is going to pay for what he did here on earth." But her gratitude rings hollow. She lied to protect him. She stayed with him. She knew something and said nothing for 11 years. December 30th, 2021. Sean Adkins is formally indicted by a grand jury. The trial date is set. Justice seems finally possible. But then, 2 years later, everything falls apart. June 2023, the prosecution files a motion to dismiss all charges. Why? Because when they examine the evidence closely, they realize the case is broken. Cell phone records show Hailey was alive at 2:57 p.m. If Sean had only 2 hours to kill her, clean up the blood evidence, and hide her body, it creates reasonable doubt. Prosecutors write, while this is not impossible, it presents additional challenges. Hailey's remains show blunt force trauma to her head, the kind of wound that causes massive bleeding. But despite multiple searches of the house and vehicle, no forensic testing was done initially. The crime scene was never properly processed. The evidence was never properly tested. Investigators found dirt on Sean's boots. They found dirt where Hailey was found. A state expert said they matched using a method called NIRS, near-infrared spectroscopy. But the FBI tested the same samples and found no match. Worse, the FBI discovered NIRS is not even recognized by the forensic science community as a valid testing method. The expert lied or was incompetent. Either way, the evidence is useless in court. Hundreds of tips came in over the years. Many were never properly vetted. Many were never cleared. Procedural errors piled on top of procedural errors. To be clear, the prosecution views Sean Casey Adkins as the primary suspect in the Hailey Dunn murder. However, additional work must be done before the case can proceed to a jury trial. They know he did it, but they can't prove it in court. June 26th, 2023. Sean Adkins walks out of jail. 13 years after Hailey disappeared. 2 years after his arrest. He's released without trial. Erica Morse is devastated. She says, "Why in the world has this happened? Why is Sean out? What are we going to do?" Clint Dunn is broken. His daughter's suspected killer is walking free. The system has failed him again. He says, "I solved this case once. We are going to solve it again." But time is running out. January 2025, more than 14 years after Hailey disappeared. The Texas Rangers Cold Case Unit now handles the investigation. They acknowledge Sean Adkins is the primary suspect, but without proper evidence, without a solid case, they can't move forward. Somewhere in Texas, someone knows the truth. Someone knows what happened on December 27th, 2010. Someone knows why Billie Jean protected Sean. Someone knows where Hailey really was that day. But the truth remains hidden. Justice remains elusive. Why was Sean's phone heading to Scurry County on December 27th if he was innocent? Why was Billie Jean protecting him by lying to police? Why did they make drug purchases that night? Why did Sean harass the private investigator investigating the case? Why was the crime scene never properly forensically tested? Why were hundreds of leads never properly investigated? What really happened to Hailey Dunn between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. on December 27th, 2010?